Are you thinking about getting started in beekeeping? I'm here to tell you the 7 most important things I think you should do before you spend 1 cent on any beekeeping equipment. I'm Adrienne and I have been beekeeping since 2018. I have some ideas on what prospective beekeepers should do prior to getting their hands on some bees. Also, these suggestions might actually save you money in the long run. This is Benji, my cat. I'm just gonna keep him here. Thanks for being cute, Benj. So first, I think this is very important. Before you get so interested, before you delve into anything, look into your local city and county ordinances. Make sure you are even allowed to keep bees at your place. If you find out that you are not allowed to keep bees at your place, really think about it and decide where you might keep your bees if you're not allowed. There's some things to consider when you look into your ordinances. You might need to get a permit. There might be a limit to how many colonies you can keep. Sometimes there's rules like how far away from the edge of your property line you can have things like beehives. There's so many things to take into consideration before you start your beekeeping journey. If you decide that you still want to keep bees and you can't have them at your own place, think about how much time you're willing to spend going back and forth between the place you're going to keep them and your home. Secondly, I think it's really important to consider the reason why you want to keep bees. For me, I started because I wanted to produce my own honey, which is a totally fine reason to start. I eat a ton of honey. And it's not really cheaper to start up beekeeping than it is to just go buy honey from the store or from another local beekeeper. I know I have amazing honey and I know the work that went into it. It tastes even better when you're proud of the process. So when you're considering why you want to keep bees, the reason why I tell you this is an important thing to do before you even spend money on beekeeping equipment is because for the different reasons of beekeeping, there may be even different equipment or different ways that you take care of your bees for whatever purpose you're keeping bees. For example, with someone with a more utilitarian view of keeping bees, a little bit like me with wanting to get honey, I think it's a little bit easier to stick with standard equipment like the Langstroth hives, while someone with a little bit less utilitarian view, they may want to experiment with things like top bar hives or ware hives. One of the most reliable things you'll hear coming out of my mouth when I talk to prospective beekeepers is that they should find and join and attend their local bee club or bee association meetings. Your local club will have all the knowledge of the ins and outs of your area. They will become friends and great resources for you when you have questions or you need help because they want you to succeed too. Next, I want you to start reading. So here's where you can start spending your money, or if you're on a budget, go to the library. Get all the books. I'll link my favorite books in the description below, but start checking them out from the library. Ask the bee club that you joined and see if they have any books that they'd be willing to loan out. You can also subscribe to either of the magazines. One is called Bee Culture and the other one is called American Bee Journal. You can contact them via email and ask them for sample magazines. They'll each send you one magazine and you can check it out, see if you'd prefer to subscribe to one or the other, or decide to subscribe to both. Now, I think it's really smart to start taking courses about beekeeping. You can either take them online or in person. Talk to your club and see if they offer a beginning bee course. They often do. Next up would be your local county extension office. They either will have courses available or they'll be able to point you in the right direction to find a course near you or online. I know there are a few online courses. I'll link to at least one in the description below that I think is a reliable place to start. This is the funnest part. I want you to build your local and faraway bee friends. These are your network of friends. You will want to talk about bees, and it is so nice to talk to people who are actually interested in it so you don't get all the eye rolls. You will want someone to bounce ideas off of and ask questions, or you can video call them and be like, this is what's going on in my colony, I don't know what to do, and they may have ideas for you. I think your bee friend network is one of the most important things to develop in your beekeeping journey, and you might as well start now. One way to do this is to join local, national, and worldwide groups on various platforms like Facebook, Reddit, and if you're not into social media like that, there are forums online like BeeSource. And you join those groups and you participate, and you'll naturally gravitate to people, and you'll be able to build your friend network that way. I will link one or a couple of my favorite Facebook groups in the description below. So finally, the last suggestion I have, and I think this is one of the most important things that you can do for yourself before you spend any money on beekeeping equipment, is to get some in-person, hands-on experience with some bees. This is why joining your local bee club is important. You need to find someone local to you who is willing to have you in their apiary to hang out and see if you can handle all these bees flying around you at the same time. Let me tell you, it's not always the easiest to deal with. I know I had a huge issue with it when I first started beekeeping. It made me really anxious, but I soon got over it. Sometimes I get a little anxious still, but I know that finding that out before I got my bees and before I spent a bunch of money on beekeeping equipment was imperative to my process. I attended various bee club meetings and also attended something off and on called Saturdays in the Apiary. It was held at my local county extension office, and we were able to get hands-on experience with actual bees in actual beehives in an actual apiary with instruction from a local experienced beekeeper. And she was actually featured in one of my videos a while back. I'll link to that up here. Another video in this series will be the equipment to consider before you start spending money on things. So be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell below so you don't miss out on anything. You're in the way. Sit. Go then. Get out of the way. Okay, I'm not gonna get this done. Time.